is I think the role is going to be more relevant for chartered accountants, and I'll tell you why. And the fundamental says that we are a better analyst than anyone else. The concept of subscription or SaaS model was not easy for many chartered accountants. So I think the gap is in the vision. When you talk about income tax, why they get so involved in that and not into this is because they don't see that what they see in income tax. Once they realize the value proposition of what technology can do to enhance their practice, to bring more efficiency in whatever they do, to help them serve better in lesser time and make them more effective, I think they will be adapting to it, make it more friendly and take better use of it. Again, data analytics is a huge opportunity for chartered accountants. I always say, open house, India and chartered accountants are going to be the accountants for the entire world.
It's high time for us to augment or enhance our skills into technology. So when we have this PPT completed, I think we would be the force to reckon with.
So when I go and meet people in different seminars and workshops, one single question everyone has: what is that right tool to manage my office? Chartered accountant understands the objectives of the business, the management objectives, the vision of the company come out of that. But I don't see any chartered accountants with that mindset that this is far away, this is something which we don't know. Positive that chartered accountants are going to be data scientists. They are going to analyze data for the entire world, and people are going to come back from across the world to our country to become chartered accountants.
Hi everyone. As we know that technology, specifically data and AI, is having a paradigm impact on the business, on any other services you talk about. The impact is quite magnanimous, and we are experiencing the same impact and effect on CA fraternity as well. So we have with us Mr. Sanjib Sanghi, who is pioneer in digital transformation in information technology when it comes to chartered accountancy as a profession. We will be discussing certain topics which would be key in terms of understanding how this paradigm shift of technology is impacting CA profession at large. A brief profile about Mr. Sanghi. He's a practicing chartered accountant with over 25 years of experience. He's currently Central Council member. Some of the notable initiatives and the key achievements that he have garnered in his career of 25 years spans at 49th Regional Conference EIRC, which themed as We at Miller Mela, and it was quite a huge community of CAs coming together, experiencing the events, right? Then a special initiative about celebrating womanhood, Udan, which is nothing but a compilation of 75 inspiring stories about 75 heroines of the CA fraternity. Then he was also pioneer in something called Run at 75, which had the theme of reskill, upskill and new skill. How various technologies, how various services can be integrated with CA profession for enhancement of CA fraternity skills. He is also pioneer with best practices for SMPs, wherein all the artifacts, all the standardization, all the template building for small medium practitioners were done, which basically enables how the small medium practitioners can run their business, can run their practice at large. Hello everyone, this is Dipak, Director of Analytics Division for IndusNet Technologies, welcoming Mr. Sanjib Sanghi.
Thank you so much, Dipak, for inviting me for such a wonderful discussion which we are going to have today, which is very close to my heart. I think we can have a lot of interactions about the community, about the profession and how we can take it forward. So let's roll it from here.
I have series of questions listed out for you.
Bring them on.
the first question, which talks about how do you see the role of chartered accountants in the era of this technological boom? Every single day we are seeing, experiencing new technology, new AI frameworks coming into the picture, and there is added pressure on the chartered accountants to perform well, to become more of reliance driven than a compliance driven, as you say in your speeches, right? So how do you see the role of chartered accountants?
Me, I'm very obsessed with chartered accountant. Always say that, and it's a huge responsibility. And I think chartered accountants are used to take pressures since 1949, and the entire country has thought about this Institute of Chartered Accountants of India even before the Constitution of India. So the expectations of society, the expectations of the country was always there with chartered accountants, and they've always proved themselves to be the partner in nation building. Coming back to the new role or the new dimension which you're talking about with the advent of technology, with the advent of artificial intelligence, I think the role is going to be more relevant for chartered accountants, and I'll tell you why. We were always great number crunchers. Like even if you go back 50 years or 70 years down the line, you will see that we were into this Munimjis, and we used to reconcile trial balance and balance sheets. The methods has changed, but the fundamentals remain. And the fundamental says that we are a better analyst than anyone else. And that is where I think the only thing which I see is a little bit of upskilling, a little bit of thought or change in mindset. And I think acquiring few little skills, but the objective which we are saying, I don't see that as a challenge, because this is happening for the last 75 years. And I think we'll play a more better role with the help of technology. We'll take use of it, and I think we can do better advisory services, better value-added services to the stakeholders across.
Taking the cue of what you mentioned, that we have been doing number crunching since ages, right? The tools might have changed, but the technique remains the same. And from the time I know you, you have been pioneer in advocating the use of technology. Previous to 2020, from where the AI boom took that hype cycle, right? How you have seen this journey? Okay, so let's say if you take an example of 5 different people you have spoken to, you have advocated the use of technology, and how effectively and smoothly have they embraced the technology in their regular practice, in their regular business. So have you seen that challenge with them? Because what I feel talking to different CAs, it's still that stigma or the fear of using the new age technology still remains there. So what's your take on that?
I think that's a very interesting question, talking about the challenges and the adaptability of the profession. I've been closely watching and working very closely with a lot of accounting firms in the country since 1998. And when you talk from 98 to, let's say, 2010, 2015, it's like, how we can get more softwares installed free of cost. Let's go back to that thought process. How to go back to the vendors and say, aap kitne zyada, how much software you're going to put up and how much of that is free. Then the era comes of, okay, I need a licensed software, but then I'm not ready to pay by user. So the concept of subscription or SaaS model was not easy for many chartered accountants. And I think this is not just about chartered accountants. This is about any professionals across the globe, is to get them prepared about why this is relevant. And a lot of role has been played by cybersecurity, spams, and accountability of organization and individuals to understand who is doing what and to what level. So this journey from buying a desktop with no LAN, with a floppy drive or a hard disk, to a journey where you are logging into a online site anytime from anywhere, where you have a subscription, you have all access privileges, and everyone in this world know what you are given the rights and privileges and what exactly you are going to do. This is a huge long journey which I still feel many accountants are still going up the ladder, and it's going to take some time more to get them to that level. So one very important concept which I would always say in my speeches is a concept of push and pull model. So I think currently the push is more than the pull. So when we talk about Udin, we talk about online folders, we talk about paperless office, we talk about getting or submitting or doing faceless assessments. All of these I consider as a push model, where we have been told to do something like this, and then we start learning those things and start getting adapted to it. A day will come when everyone will start understanding the importance of all of this and take the best use of it.
Very rightly said, the push and the pull model, right? I'll just add on to what you are saying. Institute have framed this AI in AICAI. I was going to say that just a little bit. And there are tons and tons of seminar, educational content being shared, and the people are consuming as well. Okay, but the problem lies with how they are going to use those content, use those knowledge into their day-to-day business practices. Rather, also in their practice, and also providing their services to their end clients, right? So how do you see them transforming, grabbing this knowledge and then using this knowledge? Because a lot of time it happens is I'm just accumulating the knowledge but not using it, right? Had it been, taxation or statutory audit related laws, we would have learned it and we would have, used it in our day-to-day business. But since this would not be more of a requirement in day-to-day business, so the CAs might learn a lot, but they will be having apprehensions of using them into their business. So what are the things they need to do, okay, so that the learning that they are getting gets used to their benefit?
I think so I think it goes back to the foundation again. Somehow, somewhere in the subconscious mind of a chartered accountant, when you are just focusing, or today's theme is focusing only on chartered accountants, somehow, some way, there's a subconscious mind to say that we are chartered accountants because we do income tax, we do audit, we do indirect tax. This is what we do. And when we say technology, oh, you mean a tool? All right. So, all right, that tool can be purchased, that can be taken up, and that can be used for some particular projects or this. The thought of taking that to blend with all the services which they are performing is where the gap is, in the subconscious mind. And I think after COVID, a lot has changed. People have realized that, they were sitting at home doing nothing. Their files and folders were sitting in the computer. They were not able to walk out to their offices. And that's where, they've started realizing, no, this is something which we need to do. And they started now getting more paperless. They are, using all different uses. And Institute is also working a lot on that. When you talk about AI in ICI and this chat GPT and all of that, they have realized, in fact, the senior people, when I'm talking to a lot of senior chartered accountants, they enjoy. So I think the gap is in the vision. When you talk about income tax, why they get so involved in that and not into this is because they don't see that what they see in income tax. Once they realize the value proposition of what technology can do to enhance their practice, to bring more efficiency in whatever they do, to help them serve better in lesser time and make them more effective I think they will be adapting to it, make it more friendly, and take better use of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can see that shift happening with lot more senior people coming into the those sessions, AI related sessions, analytics related sessions compared to the younger ones. So there is a thrive, there is eagerness to learn amongst the senior folks as well.
Not just the eagerness, also the anxiety, and also I would say a FOMO of missing out. So I think the senior youngsters, in fact, I just wanted to give this data every month. As soon as we launch an AI and ICI batch, it gets filled up. So people are, and again, when the entire world is talking about it, so everyone is anxious to be in the front, to want to adapt to it, want to learn it, and want to take the best use of it, not into their own practice, onto their own offices. They also want to take that as a services which they can do for their client. As I said, when in my introduction, you were talking about digital transformation. So all these chartered accountants are trusted advisors to their clients. Now, clients are going back to them with the expectations. Are you doing this? How can you make us more efficient? When the government is making the life so easy, business so easy, the tax process becomes easier, everything is getting online. So now they are looking at chartered accountants and say, well, are you only going to file my returns? Are you only going to get my accounting that? What extra can you do? How can you create more value in our organization? So now they are feeling that pressure, the performance pressure of how I can create that value, not just by, the specialized knowledge which I have, but also in, blending my knowledge with these AI to make the clients, get more out of less.
Absolutely correct. I mean, we as chartered accountants, we have always been thought of as a compliance manager or a compliance gatekeeper. Now we have to move towards more into strategic advisory role kind of a service, right? So when we look into this area of services, right, leave alone the compliance, taxation, GST filing, return filing, statutory audit, internal audit, when we move towards providing some other niche and newer areas of services, like creating a data analytics services, consulting clients as to how AI can bring newer opportunities, better business opportunities for them, what do you think can be services which can be given or which can be brought into the basket of CAs, the new age CAs, to provide to their clientels as a strategic advisor rather than a compliance manager?
So I think let's make it very simple. Any business or every business needs two things: how they can reduce their cost and how they can increase their profit. Fundamentally, these two questions. Now, how can we achieve that? Initially, it used to be tax planning and all of that, and that is still there. That is always going to be there. Now, when I talk about reducing the cost, how can we do that? By understanding all the key parameters, by automating the processes, by reducing the time which is involved in managing and coordinating things, by having complete control over whatever we have, by getting information at the click of a button, by having everything real time. So all these things becomes very important to be more efficient. And once we become more efficient, we can reduce our cost of operations. Whether you talk about manufacturing organization, you talk about trading and all of that. Now to do all that, you need to start taking use of these tools. Only and only. So I think the most important role now, I will say, for a chartered accountant is, in this new age, to be an interior decorator. I'm using this very simple word, but the meaning is you come and say, all right, I know these 10 things which are a real problem in your organization. I will work around to get you this information because we understand data. In fact, not just about the data which relates to profit. Now we are talking about data which is not directly related to profit. So it is becoming, and that's the reason why sustainability, I'm using this word, sustainability is becoming so important. Where we talk about people, we talk about planet, we talk about profit. And we are trying to bring all of this. In fact, the government of the country has also understood these, the importance of this. And that's why this BRSR reporting has come up, and that has been mandatory for 1,000 listed companies. That's going to increase more and more. So we are getting into this ESG audit. And again, when you do this ESG audit, is again a great area of work. Valuation is a great area of work. Again, I'm just sticking to the profession. I'm not saying technology is a separate product. You go for, will be an enabler function. It's an enabler. It's just an aid, like just a calculator. Like if you still go up and say, well, I want to go with the manual calculation, I go with the manual tick. It's never going to happen. So this is how, you talk about social standards, you talk about ESG, you talk about data analytics. Again, data analytics is a huge, huge opportunity for chartered accountants. I always say, someone coming into cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, there's a host of things which the world is open. And one more important thing which I wanted to say in this new age is, since the world has opened up, India and chartered accountants are going to be the accountants for the entire world.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I use this terminology called PPT, people, process, and technology. We as chartered accountants are very well versed with people. Our association relationship with people, since you're working with a lot of business stakeholders, we know the processes very well, like in and out of the business, which basically collaborates with the financial numbers. Absolutely, it's high time for us to augment or enhance our skills into technology. So when we have this PPT completed, I think we would be the force to reckon with. Absolutely. Continuing to what you just mentioned regarding AI and data and the newer set of service offerings being given onto the plate to the clients, right? What are some of the roadblocks or the hindrances which the current set of CA practitioners or the CA firms are experiencing, which is withholding them from providing these services?
I think three things. The first and foremost is the mindset. I always speak about this. The block in mind, that fear of adapting. So,
and how this can
I think, okay, so let me first get into these three, and then I will talk about each and everything of how we can deal with this. So first is that mental block of adapting and accepting and embracing, not looking that as a competition, not looking that as someone who can. So I'll give you a very good example. Once we give example, we can relate it. So 25 years back, when I was working with a US client, we used to get a PDF file and we used to do the data entry of that. Just a real example which I'm trying to talk to you about. And then after a few years, bank got automated and they started getting integrated with the accounting softwares and pulling up all the data. Now I have two choices. Whether I get scared to say, hey, someone is taking up my job. What am I going to do next? That is option number one. Or I'll say, well, you take this job. Why can't I elevate myself? Why can't I train myself to now do more better function of, understanding that numbers and making information out of it. So I think that mindset will come from within. The more you understand, and that's why we have a lot of leadership workshops, we have a lot of hand-holding workshops related to that. The second important thing is the skills. And Institute has come up with a lot of digital learning hub. In fact, a lot of MOOCs are there, massive open online courses, and many online tools which talks about how you can learn, start from basic Excel to advanced to Python to data analytics. So the journey is already there. And then we are coming up with the Center of Excellence just 5 minutes from here. And that's going to get inaugurated on 7th of February. But then the Institute is coming up with a lot of Center of Excellence. A lot of simulations are going to be given to these chartered accountants to, handhold them and get to that level where they can acquire all necessary skills to help themselves as well as their clients. The last thing which I would say is the tools. So I think these three things, once they start working upon, and acquiring the right tools is again a big question. So when I go and meet people in different seminars and workshops, one single question everyone has: what is that right tool to manage my office? And I always say the same answer: every tool is good. You just need to start working on it, and then move up the ladder. So it's all about, taking that first step. I think that's the area where you both agree upon, is to take that first step of going forward. First step of opening yourself up, opening your mind, opening your ears, and going forward to say, yes, I'm here to serve. I'm here to embrace. I'm here to accept these challenges, and I'm going to elevate myself to the next level.